So welcome back everyone, Zach here. This will be part 2 of today's video. What I wanted to with this section of the video is go over the prep on the saws that I do before I start doing any work like this, as well as some of the equipment and the tools that I have and use. And then I filmed this already, but we'll probably have to redo that based on poor lighting and my spotlight dying, is the cleanup and what I do to the saws and the equipment before I put it all away. I had originally filmed that when we got done doing the tree removal job. I believe that was video 15. I could be wrong there, but Cherry Snag, it was the title of it. So we'll reshoot that after this one, go over how I close out all of that equipment, put it away for storage. So without waiting any longer, I guess let's take a look at the equipment I got. So I think we're going to go over the saw prep first. So first thing I always like to do is check gas and oil and chain tension. So we'll go off the back here. This Husqvarna 550 XP has this nice flip cap. I'm pretty full, so I'm not going to worry about topping that off right now. It'd be a bigger pain to get that filled up and not spill all over myself with the gas can. Bar oil is pretty good too. It matches the level on the tank, so I'm not going to do that either. And then at this point I probably won't check the air filter because we're not going to be doing that much cutting, and I know from when I cleaned it before it's fairly clean. So check the chain brake, that's working. Pull it off, chain moved. I always like to do that. And then we'll go around to this side, and I'm going to tighten this up just a hair. It's a tiny bit loose, over loose. So we'll pull that in there, tighten these back down, and we'll call that a good day, or day done. Blah. We'll call that done on the saw. So that's saw prep. This is my main saw. I've done a video on that before when I first got it. It's a Husqvarna 550 XP. One of the other things that you'll see me wear once I start really cutting stuff up is I have this pair of Husqvarna safety chaps. I've never gotten close to my legs while cutting or had a near accident, but I run the saw enough now that I don't want to take any chances, so I'll put those on anytime I'm doing a decent amount of work. The other thing I'll wear, especially when I'm felling, which you guys again would have saw in that video 15 on the Cherry Snag, is this tool belt. So I have a belt loop holder for my axe. I have this nice thick 2-inch leather belt, and then I have this cheap pouch which I keep a scrunch tool in, as well as 4 felling wedges right now. My axe that I am carrying on this is a Granford Brux small forest axe. It's made in Sweden, got it off Amazon. I really like it. It's a good size for this. It's a good weight. It's hand forged and really well balanced, so I really enjoy that saw as well. And then from there, the only other thing that I typically will use is the LogOX. And I got this thing for Christmas, and it comes with a belt holder. Not that I think I'll use that much. I don't typically, or haven't typically used it to load firewood, but it has either a picaroon attachment, or what I have enjoyed using it for so far is I guess a timber jack. I don't know what else you call it. I've always called it a timber jack, but that way I can roll the log and get that up off the ground. So the jack portion goes on the base here, and then it has an extender pole to help get some additional leverage. So you'll see me break that out once I take down the tree and need to get it off the ground. So that's about it for right now. I do carry a Silky Zubat, Japanese styled pool saw, for if I need to do any sort of hand trimming. That's about it on the tools. I do also have a chain sharpener in case I dull any of my chains. It's a Perfed, P-F-E-R-D. I don't know, I got this before Steel really started marketing their chain sharpening tools. So I like the quality, I really like it. I'd probably end up buying Steel going forward just because they're more easily available. This thing was German, so it only place I could get it was Amazon, and even that took a little bit. So that's the tools and equipment. Going over that stuff, we'll wrap up kind of the intro to what I'm using and jump into cutting the tree down now, but that's in part 1 of the video series. So next thing on this video will be then showing the cleanup of this stuff once I'm done using it before we put it away. So what I like to do with the saw before I'm putting it away is I'll pop the side cover, the case off, and just check under here and make sure that my air filter's not clogged and everything's looking pretty dust free. The only thing I don't have right now that I will usually do is use some compressed air and blow out some of these areas, but the professional saw does a really good job at keeping that particle circulation that's going past the air filter down. I'm really impressed with the Husqvarna in that regard. I mean, the Still professional saws will do that too. I got a better deal on this one, which is why I went Husky. But compared to the MS250, I mean, you use that saw for 10 minutes and the air filter is completely clogged and full of solids. So I'm really impressed with that. So after that, I'll kind of wipe down. One place I really like to use the compressed air is around the bar oil cap. Make sure I'm not going to get any sawdust or anything in there next time I go to open it and fill it before the next job. So I'll probably do that at some point, but for right now that's good enough. And then we'll flip over to the other side. One thing to note with Huskies is before you take off the side cover, always make sure you have your chain brake off. We managed to pop that side cover with the chain brake on. You're gonna have a fun time getting the chain brake to pop, since it's on the actual side cover, and then to get it back on the saw. So we'll take this off. And come on. So this isn't too bad or too dirty. I'll usually take like a stiff wired brush and kind of brush out any of the gunk and sawdust and bar oil that's stuck in here. Again, sometimes I'll use the compressed air. It depends if I have it or where I'm doing this work at. If I'm in the garage, I'll obviously use the compressed air, but that doesn't look bad. Clean that all up. Here is, you can kind of see it in there. There's the mechanism for the chain brake, which is why you always got to pop that before you take that side off. So we'll pop the chain off here. I'm kind of losing daylight on you guys, so we'll take the chain off, take the bar off, kind of brush down and wipe down the bar. I don't worry too much about build up on the actual bar. You can see I'm pretty stained already. What you do need to check is there are these little holes right below my fingertip there and not that the camera's super focused, but those are where your oiler pumps and allows the oil to get into the track of the bar to keep the chain lubed. So you always want to make sure that those things are clean and clear. So like if I run this stiff brush down the center of the track, you can kind of see that I've got some gunk in there now. We'll blow that out. That's clear. That one's clear. And obviously I got a sharp edge on that bar because I just whacked it off myself and cut myself a little bit. So that's good. I'll take a file over that at some point. And then likewise on the saw, I'll just take the wired brush, compressed air, kind of clean everything up. The only thing I really like to do and make sure that's clean in here is across the bar oiler. And I find that helps just keep it from leaking less. I mean, they still all leak in the winter, but a lot of times in the summer, I think it helps keep that oil leakage down. So with that, I'll just put the bar back on, put the chain back on, keep it real loose, and that'll be good, you know, to store for me. So one dumb thing I do quite frequently, because I don't pay attention enough, is put the chain on backwards. So always make sure that the front chisel point of the chain has a depth gauge in front of it, and that should be facing up and out on the top of the bar. I have had some fun trying to get this chain on the sprocket in the bottom. That's my only complaint with the saw, is I haven't had an easy of a time. Not that it's, you know, super difficult, but I haven't had as easy of a time as I had with the still to get the chain on the drive sprocket there. So we'll get that on. I'll just pull some tension into it. That's pretty good. And I'll stick the side cover back on and call it a day. So start just snug the bar nuts up, or the side cover nuts up, whatever you call them. That tension's pretty good for me to put it away with, so we'll just tighten these down. And that's that. So yeah. So with that takes us to the end of the video. I hope you guys like the showcase of the tools I use when I'm either cutting up firewood or doing a tree removal job like video 15, the cherry snag removal. If you saw anything you have questions on, or that, you know, maybe you want a better explanation on, comment, let me know. I should hopefully be able to get back to you and answer, you know, whatever question you may have on it. Maybe you learn something too at the end with what I'm doing to clean them or put them away before or when I'm done using them, before they go back into storage. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you did, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, let me know how I'm doing, or anything you want to see, or anything I can do better. So until then, have a great day.